Hey friends, happy Wednesday. It's great to be back with you again. If you and I have not met, my name is Emma Lou with Heartfelt Creations, and today I'm excited to share some of my top tips and techniques on how you can create these beautiful one-of-a-kind mushroom cottage scenes the easy way. So join me and we're going to learn how to create these adorable little mushroom cottages and how to create this amazing scene. It's just like this little fairy garden with lots of different sizes of mushroom houses, teeny tiny mushrooms, and then the little fairy with the vellum wings. You've got a little cute little snail, so much detail to this card. And what's great about this is you'll also learn how you can create this super dimensional easel card, but that it will also flatten down for mailing, which is absolutely phenomenal when you learn these tips and techniques. So let me know where you're watching from. Don't be shy, introduce yourselves. If you haven't seen these before, the Mushroom Cottage collection just launched to everyone today, and we're super excited for you to experience the joy of creating with this one. So the very first image that we're going to learn how to color and kind of do what I call an ombre coloring technique is this large mushroom here, and then the same technique is used for the smaller mushroom houses as well. So when you're creating with this one, you're going to use the large mushroom cottage, and this one has 4 pieces for the stamp. So you've got your cottage, your little leaves in here, plus a little froggy and the snail. The die does have 8 pieces, and then that cuts out your windows and doorways from your large mushroom, plus the other elements within the stamp set as well. So to get started, what you'll want to do for this mushroom and the smaller mushrooms that I'm using today is you'll want to stamp 2 of each one and die cut them out. So for this one, you're mostly focused on coloring the base of the mushroom stem, and then also the inside of the window up here, and just a little bit around the edges. So for this stem, you're going to go ahead, and I'm using a couple different colors today. So I'm going to be using the Rose Madder to color the more like the center and to get that very pale pinkish color in here. And when I'm making these mushroom stems, I really do like to focus on doing multiple colors and a different stem from the top to just add a little bit more interest. You're going to switch to the edges with the Vibrant Fuchsia if you want to have a very bright kind of shaded pink edge with this mushroom. Now you can use just the inks to color these, or if you wanted to, you could go back, you could color these with your markers if you're a colorist and you like to spend a lot of time getting lots of detail and vibrancy into your images. So you get to choose which way you want to go with this. So we're just going to add a little bit of that pink around the edges. You could go back and add some more of that shading right into the base down here as well if you wanted to. So you can add as much or as little color as you want into that. So for the top, I did a 3-tone color, starting with the cactus flower in the center. So we'll go ahead and just continue finishing this top. So for this top part, I stamped it with the dark brown ink, and then I cut out the window part from this piece as well. So we're going to go ahead and just finish coloring this. So we're using the cactus flower in the center. I'm just going to lay that down so I have just a little bit more control over how that color is being applied. I am going in a circular motion, so that really helps you kind of blend that color out and get a smooth, beautiful color technique each time. And I love how the 3 color combinations that I'm using on the top, how those just blend together and work so beautifully. Now, I don't know about you, but when you look at this beautiful collection, it just reminds me of a place you want to live. There's no cares or worries that exist in this place. There's just little fairies fluttering by, and you can just sit out in the yard and just have a cup of tea and have some fun, right? So we're going to go ahead with the Majestic Violet and just add a little bit, that's more of a darker purple. And we're just going to add a little bit of that color in there as well. You can kind of shade that into the edge. So you don't see that too much, but it just adds a little bit of a depth of a darker color into this section. Now, if you missed out on the Mushroom Cottage collection, you haven't seen it yet, we just launched it to everybody today. Our insider members did get early access, so they had access yesterday. But everybody has access to it today, and you save 10% on the complete collection, We'll add the links below for quick and easy ordering. The next color that I'm adding into this is the Vibrant Fuchsia. And I'm using that to kind of shade color in here. So I'm really using the tip of my sponge dauber and just adding just stripes of that Vibrant Fuchsia in there to kind of brighten that mushroom top up. And I love how that adds that beautiful color. And then once you add the glitter, it just comes together so, so beautifully. So like I was saying, it launched to everybody today. You can access the complete collection, save 10%, or you can buy anything individually. And if you are an insider member, you will also receive an additional 20% off, plus you'll have access to the online class that we'll be teaching at the end of the month with the Mushroom Cottage collection, which I'm super, super excited about. You don't want to miss it. If you go to our class page on our website, you'll be able to see the projects that we will be teaching with this one, which is a lot of just amazing, beautiful little fairy cottage scenes with the mushrooms. I just love that. Okay, so we have that all colored. Next step is just going to be layering this on top, and we'll do that with some foam dots at the base, and then we're going to go ahead and add our hot glue around the top to glue that cap more down, but you'll have a little bit more dimension right at the base. So I love how that just gives a little bit of separation in here and allows you to continue to decorate this mushroom. Now you can die cut these out and add these extra pieces on top. I colored these exactly like I did the mushroom base with just inks. However, if you wanted to do markers, you could. So I used a sunflower base to color the yellow at the on the background, so that shines through the windows, makes it look like the house is all lit up and very inviting. We're just going to use a little bit of hot glue and tack this door down in the base and just have that standing open. For this one, I like to just fold those window shutters up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and glue that down as well. So it's up to you whether you want to add these little accents. I did add a little bit of marker coloring in there with the pink to just highlight those flowers. And then we have this really beautiful little oval window or circle window that goes in here as well. And just lift up those little shutters and glue this down. So the technique that I'm showing you can be applied to any of the mushroom cottages. There are many different sizes. This one is the largest one. And then we also have some smaller ones. I'm just going to put a nice puddle of glue right in here, and then we'll just lay our window right on top here. Okay, so that we'll lay this aside to dry, and then we'll start creating our card base and layering that together. Before I do that, I wanted to show you some of the other stamp sets in this collection. So you saw the large one. This is the mini mushroom cottages. This has 5 different sizes, so you have some long ones and you have some that are a little bit wider. So it creates a beautiful setting that you can quickly and easily create those little mushroom scenes. And then we have 2 more stamp and die sets within this collection. You've got the mushroom cottage accents. You've got 1 fairy in here, but what I love about these cottage accents, as we go through, you'll see these used in many different ways. Like you've got the fence, you've got the little fairy, and then you've got these little flower sprays that will help complete the scene that you're creating. And there are 7 different images in that set. And then the mushroom fairies. We have 3 different mushroom fairies in here that you can utilize based on where you're wanting to position them in your little scene. And I love decorating those with vellum. So what you can do is go ahead and stamp, die cut, and color your fairy just like I did the mushroom house. And then stamp your vellum wings on the vellum, stamp them with white, and this one was done with bridal embossing powder, so it's kind of a glittery embossing powder. And then you can go ahead and color that. So to color this, I'm going to color it on the top. We're going to start with the Vibrant Fuchsia in the center and just fade that coloring out. Isn't that so pretty? I just love that. And we'll do, let's say we'll do a 3-tone color on these fairy wings. So we'll go into Cactus Flower, and then we'll end it with the Majestic Violet. So we'll just kind of have a nice 3-tone ombre colored fairy wings. But what I love about this is if you add vellum to those wings. It just really accents that so beautifully and makes it come together so pretty with a glitter and sparkle. Looks so light and delicate. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and clip those wings off, and then you can attach those to the base of the fairy done on cardstock. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just add a little bit of glue right along this area, and we'll layer that fairy wing right on top. And I don't really focus on having that wing pulled up too much right now because it is drying, so we'll just lay that aside to dry. So here we've got another one, very pastel. It's sitting down. You've got those wings. You can kind of pull those up. And then I did 2 additional mushroom houses, and these are colored the exact same way we did the first one, just with like carnation red, your green, adding your yellow accents, and then more of a beige undertone on this. Or you could always keep it the same as I did on the original one. So you can pick and choose how you color those. Your next step is pulling all these pieces together on your scene to create an easel card. This collection has amazing papers, and I can't wait to show those. I'll show those to you at the end, along with so many different samples that design team members from all around the globe have created in different ways that you can utilize these. Here I just cut this from a 12 by 12 sheet, added the glitter, and this is a 5 by 7 card, so I cut my 5 by 7 card base, folded it in half, added that strip of paper on this side because that's what you're going to see. So we're going to focus first of all on adding the elements for this scene on this flap, and then we're going to add the little fairy and show you the unique technique that I used, that those can fold back down again. So you're going to go ahead and add your large mushroom house first. So we'll add a little bit of hot glue more down to the base. This one was glued directly to the base of the card, pretty much right in this section here. You could even lower it if you wanted it to, so it's totally up to you. And then I took this one and glued that practically right in here. So you're going to go ahead and just add a small layer of glue right at the base of this one and pop that up so it's living somewhere in here. So you get to create your own little fairy wonderland. I just love it. It's like kind of like a little fairy garden, I guess. Now we wanted to, when you're creating an easel card, you want to create something that you can have the easel braced up against, and that's where the little mushroom and this little fairy are holding that easel up. So we're going to go ahead and glue these two down. Now what I did is I took a strip of paper, and you want to have it so that you have 4 sides, okay? Now it really doesn't matter how wide this is. Obviously I folded this at 1/2 inch all the way around. If you do it wider, your fairy will just be popped out a little bit further, so you can kind of mess with that and see what you want to do with it. But I'm going to go ahead and glue my fairy right on this strip, and that will then, this bottom piece will be glued to the bottom of the card. This will be attached to the fairy. So we'll just go ahead and put some glue in there and attach this little fairy. We'll just have her sitting on there. I don't want her wings to go too much underneath so that it sets flush to the card. I do want you to be able to see what I'm going to be doing. So this flips down. It looks pretty much like a square, okay, when this is all folded together. However, I'm just going to put glue on the bottom here and the bottom here, and we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Do that on both sides. You don't have to do both sides at once, and then you'll just find the spot on the card that you want a little fairy to sit down on, and just press that down. So the area that I have that glue on is what's sitting down, and that just automatically just sits there. It's ready to go. Same thing with this mushroom. Since this is more narrow, I did definitely want to make sure that that is narrow enough. So when you fold this, you want to have, again, you want to have a square, or if you make it wider, that's okay, but I cut this to 1/2 inch, and then I did a 1/2 inch score at every point. And then just go ahead again and put some glue right in this section. Now, if you're just joining me and you're like, oh my gosh, I just love the Mushroom Cottage collection, where can I get this? We've added the links below for quick and easy ordering. We have just launched that to everybody this morning. You have the option to get all the pieces that we just launched for the Mushroom Cottage collection in an I Want It All, where you save 10%. That is available until Saturday or while supplies last. Okay, so here you go. You have that glued, and then you'll add glue to the bottom of those two tabs, and that will allow you to just glue that to the base of the card, and then that will create some flexibility. And this one was tucked up really close to this fairy, okay? And they're pretty much the same positioned, like the same width from the card base. You could have set this a little bit further back if you wanted to, totally up to you. But there you have these glued down. Once that's fastened, I'll show you how it flattens. For some reason, I think that looks pretty solid. But when you just push down on that, that will just flatten down, and then those will pop back up again. So that's just a cute little tip for you. I'm sure there's many different ways you can do it, but that's one of the ways I like to do mine. So your next step is just being like, okay, where do I want to add additional accents and pieces to finish this off? So for mine, I added the little fairy on top. I wanted to have her just kind of flying off that mushroom. So we're going to go ahead and add her to the top of this card. There you go. And then I wanted to add a little bit of leaves to anchor my sentiment down in here and kind of anchor the fairy as well. So we're going to go ahead and add those in. These leaves are amazing, amazing fillers for this. I just love how these just accent it very quickly. I did use the sentiment for my friend. If you don't have that yet, let us know in the comments. We can pop in a link to this stamp set. So this will just go right in here. And then I took the little snails. I just love these little guys. Clipped them apart and put the baby snail right beside the For My Friend. And one thing I did forget to mention today, as you're watching and commenting, when you like, comment, and share this video, you're going to be entered to win this card. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I'd like a chance at winning this, make sure to leave a comment, share the love, and make sure you do that by midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, and you'll be entered to win this beautiful one-of-a-kind card. Are you so excited? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add some more of these leaves up in this section in here. And just remember, if you don't have this collection yet, we've added the links in the comments. Plus, when you purchase them, you'll save the 10%. If you are an insider member, you get an additional 20% discount. And you have automatic access to the online class that's coming up at the end of the month as well, which is valued at $30. It's 2 hours in length. And if you're not an insider member yet, I highly recommend you get signed up. It's only $12.99 a month. You get free shipping and all sorts of benefits. We'll add the link in the comments for you. So these little mushrooms are in the set that has the cottage accents, and they are so adorable to just add in into those sections where you're like, oh, this just needs a little bit more mushrooms in this section, but they're teeny tiny and easy to add, so you can really blend those in with the papers that you're using in the background as well. So lots of variations. And if you feel like you've struggled with creating scenes, if you follow some of these simple steps and you have these pieces and components, I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to create these beautiful, magical scenes that will bring a smile to your friends and family. You'll have so much fun creating as well. I just feel like it's such a day brightener in your craft room. Like you just see it and you smile, right? So I'll just add the For My over here, and your card is all complete. So that's the basics of creating a one-of-a-kind scene using those elements that will allow you to flatten it for mailing, and how to stagger these so you have lots of dimension and just so much creativity in this. Before I go, I can't wait. I'm just like itching to share the projects that have been created, because there's so many variations, there's so many different ways that you can create with the mushroom cottage. And a lot of these are on the blog today, so you can click on the blog for written instructions on some of the cards that I'll be showing you. Before I show you those, I just wanted to show you the paper collection as well. The paper collection is super pretty. It has nice, vibrant scenes. So you've got your card panels followed with some tag pieces. And then these are the scenes I was cutting apart to create the background. You'll see that on this page specifically. But that gives you a base that you can start utilizing to create the scenes and just have fun with it. You also have some images in here that can be just die cut out. They're already colored. You just add some sparkly vellum fairy wings to those and you'd be good to go. So lots of variations on how you can make quick and easy cards that still look like you spent so much time with it. Here's a shaker card that is super, super pretty using the decorative frames. Got the fairy, plus it's paired with the mushroom houses, and if you've got the poppy from last month, that pairs so, so beautifully with the mushroom collection. Here's one that's a shaped card. I featured this on my YouTube video. So if you'd like to see how to do easel shaped mushroom cards, make sure that you watch that, and I did it with the shaker element in there as well. Here is a card done with the poppies, having the fairy just sitting in that large poppy on the top and then adding some little mushroom elements in there. Here's another one, which is your A2 size card, just having that little fairy popped up in the middle of the flower. Love, love how that turned out. So lots of variations on how you can create those beautiful, beautiful one-of-a-kind scenes. Here she's just sitting on the fence, just having a great day. I just love how this one is perfect to sit on the fences and kind of looks up to the sentiments that you put on the card. Here's one that's a shaped card. That's a really pretty element, just adding the different accents to the top of that. Here's another one with a little fairy flying at the top. You've got your sentiment, the froggy, those mushrooms, pairing it with a larger flower accent as well. So I can't wait for you to experience the joy of creating with this collection. Leave a comment, let me know what you love about it. This one was colored with markers, so you could get some amazing detail and vibrancy with those. Here's another shaped card with a little fairy and the vellum wings. Oops, I'm trying to break those off. I've got a little froggy hanging out on the bottom. I also love the simplicity of just using a 5x7 card, adding your flowers at the base, and then adding your little fairy, and she's also looking up at that sentiment. Here's another one. It's like you can't get enough of a good thing, right? So here's another one with just a lot of flowers, looking up at the sentiment. So hopefully this inspires you to create some beautiful one-of-a-kind mushroom cottage scenes that have that fairy-like garden feel that you, your friends, and family will love. It'll bring just that ray of sunshine into your craft room, and you'll experience the joy of creating these little magical scenes the easy way. Remember, when you comment, like, and share, you'll be entered to win the card I just created. And if you don't have the Mushroom Cottage collection yet, I've added the links below for quick and easy ordering. Just remember, if you're an insider member, you get an additional 20% discount, plus you get free shipping, and you have access to the online class that I'll be teaching at the end of the month. If you haven't seen that one yet, go to the class tab on our website and you'll see the projects that we're going to be completing together. I can't wait for you to experience that. Now, if you're not an insider member, I highly recommend get signed up for that. It's only $12.99 a month, and you have access to everything I just talked about, plus all the previous recorded online classes. They're all valued at $30 each. They're 2 hours in length, and I think you'll absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.